welcome to Devon Dragon Radio. I'm your host, M.L.Ruscsak. I'm here with my special guest, W.T.Hamilton. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. It's awesome to be on here.
Now, we had a chance to talk right before we went on live today, and you have several books out, but we're going to concentrate on your one-chapter books. Can you tell us a little bit about that series?
Yeah, so what happened was read a lot of business books and marketing books, and they all had one thing in common. When I got to the chapter that really solved the problem that I was looking for, I stopped reading the book and jumped into to make that happen. So I said to myself, there's got to be people like me that just want to read the one chapter that they need. Why don't I start writing one-chapter books to help entrepreneurs solve the problem so they can keep moving forward in their business? So that's what I had created. So I've done about 6 of those so far.
Awesome. Now, what are some of the problems that you see that you can help entrepreneurs with?
So the very first one I did was ask for the money, because I know when I first got thrown into, before I became an entrepreneur, I was working in sales, and that was the first thing that I struggled with, was actually asking for the sale as you went through the sales process. So the first book was all about asking for the money. Then I did a book that was all about, where do you start? You got this great idea. It's called the $1 Million Idea. Where do you start? How do you actually take that from an idea to actual product or service? So I told the story of how I did it and how I guide people into doing that. And then from there, I did one on networking, did one on social media, and then the latest one I've done is it's called The Harsh Truth, which is what's the real truths that you have to get through to really make your business work.
Oh, exactly. So have you, with your books as of yet, touched base on getting investors to invest into your idea?
So the one book is called The Lonelypreneur, and in that I do talk to a little bit at the beginning of having an investment, working with investors, and then the whole thing going south, and basically how I lost $25,000 in an investment that only lasted about 3 months, and how much of a benefit that was for helping me to really understand how to work with investors and how to put deals together.
That's good. That's not good that you lost $25,000, but it's a good learning experience, and I'm glad that you were able to share that.
Yeah, it was great. It was
turning negatives into a positive. That's what it was all about.
Exactly. It was like going to business boot camp.
Yeah, that's something I think every entrepreneur needs to do, is a boot camp at least once.
Yeah.
I mean, here I am. I'm an entrepreneur myself with films and publishing and whatever, and I do boot camps all the time online because you learn so much information from both an author's point of view, and a lot of entrepreneur books, self-help and guidance books transfer over to the authoring world.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing I find with, I deal with different authors, and the thing that I find with them is they don't look at it as an entrepreneur business. So they're not really looking at the marketing and promoting and doing all the things that you have to do to actually get your book from Amazon into somebody's laptop or into somebody's hands.
Right. I try to explain this to authors all the time. You are a small business. You're not just an author. You are a small business. You have to market yourself. You have to get your voice out there. Writing a great book and just put it on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, wherever you have it, is great. It's the first step, but it's not the only step. There's about 100 between A and bestseller.
Yeah, and getting it onto the platform is the easiest step.
Oh,
but
it
actually
is, and they have.
Taking your author hat off and putting your promoter hat on and your marketing hat, that takes a lot of work. And if you don't know a lot about that lane, you really have to learn it, because you can spend a lot of money and not get very much results just because you don't know what it takes to do it. So you're throwing cash at it thinking that's going to be the solution. But I found, because I had done that, I had spent money just with someone just to market, and the initial campaign was great, but it only lasts a few days, and you need 3 months of marketing. So you need to learn how to do it yourself as well as paying someone to do some marketing for you.
Oh, exactly. It's not just where you're spending money, it's how you're spending it, what you're spending it on, and what are the results. There's a formula, sorry, I can't talk today, that people have to follow for it to be effective. And
exactly.
Unfortunately, not a lot of people, A, have the mindset to learn the formula, or B, they just go, oh, I'll just pay someone to do it, and that's great. You can pay great marketers, author assistants, and all these people that help promote your book. But if you're not learning it yourself, what's the point of just paying people constantly? You have to know what they're doing so you can help.
Exactly. And in the book, The Harsh Truths, I talk a lot about the mindset and understanding how your money should work. It's a story, so it's basically a story of a young entrepreneur. His name is Peter. He requests to have a meeting with his mentor friend, and so it takes place in a diner. And just through conversation, I basically travel through all the different realities that you're going to run into as you're starting your business, and how to find the solutions to be able to get through those. Because some of them are mindset. Like when you start a business, everybody's excited when you start. They're excited if you succeed, or they're excited when you quit and you go start something else. But the in-between time, you're on your own. So if it takes you 9 months instead of 2 months to get your thing going, you're on your own.
Oh, yeah. I find that even with film, everyone's excited right in the first month or two. But after the first month or two, they're like, why isn't this done? Why isn't that? It's a slow process. They don't understand the process. They have this mindset that you have to have it done in 2 months, 3 months. It's not that. There's a lot of working wheels in any business. And you have to make sure all the gears line up in order for everything to run smoothly.
Yeah, and so a lot of it is self-belief and is discipline and focus. And those are things that are hard to build naturally. And that's why you need to surround yourself with people that can help you, or have someone that's done it before that can guide you through the steps, and then also just help you to stay on course and be accountable for the actions that you're taking, and make sure you're always building momentum and moving forward.
Right. And, okay, you build your team around you. You build your team with like-minded individuals, but also people that can help you succeed. Either they have experience in finance, in the industry that you're pursuing, in organization, in whatever you're needing. Then you keep those ones as your core team. Then you build up your cheerleading squad, basically. Your people that will promote you, be happy for you, bring your spirits up when you lose $10,000 for something stupid, because you don't know that you could utilize that $10,000 on something else.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a book called The Lonelypreneur, and that's the strategy is, and one of the things that I learned from my mentor is it's called folding time. It's basically if you can align yourself with someone that's already done it, you can learn from the mistakes they made so you don't have to make them. So you're something that might have taken you, say, 3 or 4 months to figure out, you can learn that in one conversation if you have the right people around you. And then a key strategy that I try to use is have people in different time zones. Because if you're working on your business at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can't call someone necessarily in your time zone to talk to them. But if you have people in different time zones, you can reach out to someone at 2 o'clock in the morning. It might be, 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning where they are, or it might be 11 o'clock at night where they are. So it's a great strategy to use to be able to solve your problems at any time of the day or night.
Exactly. I have my team spread out through the U.S., but I also have mentors in the UK, Australia, New Zealand. They may not know the business right down to the T, but I can call them up or Facebook or Twitter or whatever I need to do to get a hold of them, and they will brainstorm with me. They may not know the problem exactly, but they can brainstorm. And one of my great mentors, Antonio T. Smith, he's an author, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker. We do brainstorming sessions. You take everything you know about whatever the problem is, toss it out the window. Okay, now we have a problem. What can we do that's a creative solution to fix the problem that hasn't already been tried? Because you wouldn't be talking to me if you already tried everything that you can think of. So let's think of everything you haven't thought of.
And that's an awesome power and an awesome resource to have, right? When you're able to do that.
Right. Is to be able to call your mentor, a friend, a business partner, and be able to strategize, because we all do it. We have these mounds of problems. We looking at it, it looks like a mountain. But when you sit there and you bounce ideas off someone that's removed from the situation, that mountain is not that big.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't matter if it's a book that we're trying to get to bestseller or needing to come up with an investor for $25,000, throwing it out there. It's not that big of a problem. It's just you have to look for the solution.
Exactly. And I find that that happens a lot with me when people reach out to me, and I'm able to see a solution really quickly that once I tell them, they see it, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, how could I not have seen that? It's so obvious. It's Captain Obvious. But it's just that you can't see it from your point of view, so you need always to reach out to someone outside of what you're going through, because they might be able to see right away, oh, you didn't try this, just try this. This will work for you.
Right.
It's an awesome feeling when you have those resources around that you can use.
Oh, it's wonderful to have resources like that. It's, as an entrepreneur, as a business-minded person, as an author, you have to utilize the people that you network with. And networking is 90% of what you need to succeed. Because it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have another book coming out later this spring. What is that one on?
So that book is so it's a continuation of the Harsh Truth. So the last two books that I wrote, and then this one, I've kind of turned them into like a series. But you can read them as one-offs, or you can read the other two first. But basically, this one takes place in a live seminar, and the one person that's attending is skeptical, and then you have the person that's teaching the seminar, which is teaching all the little tips and tricks on how to really build up an online business.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another character that's from the harsh truth that is in there, and there's basically a sub story that happens between the two, and they're able to solve a few different problems that you would run into that are life problems that kind of get in the way of building your business, that you have to be able to learn how to deal with so that you can stay focused on growing your business. So in it, I have like how to do heart-centered sales, how to make a perfect or an irresistible offer. So I go through that at the end of the book, and then also just some of the little pitfalls that you run into and how to deal with the mindset to really succeed in business and succeed in online businessing.
Now, in your opinion, is it harder to be authentic when you're doing an online business or being authentic and trying to sell someone in, a store?
So what I do is I try to show up online and offline the same way. That was it was a bit of a struggle to get there because I had to get to the point. So I struggled with, at first I would show up the way I thought an entrepreneur should show up, or I would show up online the way that other people were showing up online. And what happened with me is I was finding that I wasn't getting any clients. Really, I was getting one or two, but not enough to be excited about. So I decided, okay, if pretending to be somebody is not working, why don't I just be myself? Because I have a lot more fun being myself. And so, and I said to myself, I'm not going to lose business because I'm not really gaining any business right now pretending to be like this guy or like that person over there. So once I started being myself, I started to attract people that were like me, that wanted to learn from someone like me. So it's actually, I find it's easier. It's scary at first because you're making yourself more vulnerable, but you're also making yourself real. So you're more relatable in the long run. And the people that don't like you, they weren't going to like you whether you were being the fake person or not. In my book, there's a book called Luckypreneur, and I talk about, what if you became really successful being the fake you? You're going to be stuck being the fake you for the rest of your life. Is that really what you want to be successful doing?
Right. Do you want to be known as a person that puts on a show for everyone, or someone that can relate to everyone because you're real? We see this with celebrities. We see this all the time. People talk about it from reality TV, which we all know is not completely 100% real, and to news. You're stuck being this person, and it's not necessarily who you are. So then you curate this whole world around this persona, and you're actually harming your psyche.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you learn and you grow, you get different perspectives and viewpoints on things. But if you're locked into having to be this certain way all the time, you can't actually expand what you know or do anything different, because now people expect you to only be in this lane and only do this for as far as your business goes, and all the people that are invested in there and lawyers, everybody expects you to be this person because that's what makes the money. So if you can be real, then you're able to adjust and shift and change your viewpoints, and it's still part of your brand, because that's you are your brand at that point. So it takes a little bit more time and effort to grow, because you're not going to appeal to as many people, but you're going to have a real authentic appeal to the people that you resonate with.
Right, and here's what people don't understand. Once you start resonating with appeal from being yourself, yes, it's a slower road to take, but scaling your business responsibly and slowly is actually better than being fake and scaling too quickly, because then you run into all sorts of other problems that you wouldn't have to had deal with if you would have scaled responsibly.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I think a lot of people don't see that, because when you're looking at social media, especially like Instagram, everything is based on 90 days to success. And success takes way longer than 90 days if you really want real sustainable success. And
it does.
The quick money doesn't last, right? Quick money doesn't last. You make a few quick sales, and then people start to see through you, and then you don't make any more sales.
Right. If you're having quick sales, okay, that's great. You're making money real quickly, but is that sale going to come back to you in 30 days, 90 days, 120 days? Or are they going to come back to you when you have a new product a year from now?
Yeah.
You have to be able to scale slowly, steadily, and not just go for the quick sales. You have to make that personable connection with your client, with your customer, with your whatever you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're authentic, you have more fun, because you're relaxed, because you can just be your normal self 24 hours a day. You don't have to put on a show when you turn on the camera to make a video.
Exactly. You can't. Okay, I do a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of pop-up things on Facebook, because it's just the type of person I am. If I have something I say, I'm going to say it. When you turn that camera on, you have to be yourself. You can't be some fake Barbie doll and put it on the show for people. Yeah, it's fun, it's entertaining, but are you really having fun doing it? You have to be authentic with yourself before you can be authentic to your clients, to your followers, to your whatever the case may be.
Exactly. And then once you're able to do that, you can fine tune it. You can do different things with your, the way that you're showing up, but you're still going to always be the real person. Because the fear that I would have is if I built up a persona on camera, and then I'm out with my family or out with my friends, and I'm a completely different person, and someone sees me and comes up to me, I think that would be very unauthentic. But if you run into me at any kind of event, I do a lot of socializing events, I'm the same person that you see on social media.
Exactly. You have to be one person all the time. The only person you can be is yourself. You cannot be the class clown 24/7. You cannot be someone that puts on the show for 15 minutes and be someone else if they meet you on the street. It's not going to work. We see people on Instagram all the time getting called out about this stuff because it's right there. If you're not the same person they see on A, B, and C, you're going to get called out. And that's only going to hurt you and your brand and your business.
Yeah, for sure. And I know it's something that people struggle with because it's hard, right? It's not as easy to grow slowly. And and everybody around you, this is one of the things I talk about in The Harsh Truth, like everybody around you that are excited when you start, they're not there when you're struggling to really build it up. But they also don't get any of the benefits. Maybe your family gets some monetary benefits eventually, but they don't get any other benefits as you're building up your business. So you have to realize that it's okay that maybe all the people that were excited aren't really there for you every step of the way. But that's why you surround yourself with other people that have been through it before, that understand it. And that's why I write these books, to kind of help people with the whole mindset of being able to see that, okay, it's a journey. You have to really celebrate all the little wins, because there's a lot of little wins that add up to big wins if you can see them and recognize them and have some gratitude for them and enjoy them. But you have to find them. They're there. They're there every day. But they're not these big things that you can post on social media and say, hey, look what I just did. But they all add up.
Right.
They're building momentum for your business.
And if you have someone in your team that can't see these little things as a positive, they don't need to be on your team.
Yeah.
They will drag you down. They'll drag your whole positive energy, positive vibes that you have. They will drag it down. You don't need that. Your little successes, whether it be getting your 100th customer, your 10th ebook downloaded, whatever these little stepping stones are, if they can't be happy that you did that, cut them loose. They're not happy in your company. They're not happy with little successes, and they're not going to be there for the long run.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many more successes. I was going to say there's so many more successes than just the revenue.
Exactly.
A lot of people measure their success just by the revenue, but so many successes that build up to that revenue that you have to enjoy. And if you can learn to enjoy those, then the revenue will start to come after. But if you can't enjoy the little things, it's hard because you're just going to feel like you're always losing.
That is a wonderful point. If you're judging your business, your books, your whatever, by how much income you're getting, you're missing the whole point. If you're an author and you're writing only for money, you're doing it completely wrong. You have to do it for the little successes, teaching one person something, showing them something, open their mind to something. That's a little success. That's something to be celebrated.
Yeah, exactly. There's some months where my revenues from the books, it doesn't even cover the cell phone bill. But I'm happy that I'm getting these emails every month saying that you sold something. And then when you do some campaigns and you make the bigger sales, that's more of a celebration. But when your books are not going to sell in a big abundant amount every single month, 12 months a year.
Right. But we're almost out of time, so before we let you go, where can our listeners find you?
So I'm on Instagram is the main social media site that I use. And it's W.T.Hamilton. It's on Instagram. And then I have a page on Amazon. So if you look up W.T.Hamilton, you'll find that all my books are on there. I have personal development books and entrepreneur books. Those are the two main places that I drive traffic to.
Awesome. As an entrepreneur, author, and a promoter, I highly suggest you get a Facebook page. You can reach a lot more customers.
I do have it's W.T.Hamliton author is my Facebook page.
Good, because I find a lot of more people, believe it or not, go to Facebook before they go to Instagram. Don't ask me why, because Instagram is little quick things, but I don't get it. But hey, it's there. But I thank you for being on the show today.
Well, it was a real pleasure, ML. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, and I look forward to reading your next book when it comes out.
I appreciate it. And thanks for doing this show. It's really really helpful for a lot of authors.
Yeah, we do this for authors, entrepreneurs. Just get a hold of me. I love doing these. But for now, thank you, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.